Let you go down, then go more down, then we can keep it lit. Let's.
About to see how this go. What's up? I know y'all read that title. I know y'all seen it thumbnail. And yes, it is true. Like I told y'all, and I told y'all in my first video, at the time up, do the math. You feel me? Yeah, y'all can tell. Maybe some of y'all don't know how to do math. I'm just playing. But what's up? My name is Simone. I am a single mother of a 6-year-old. Yes, I did say 21 with a 6-year-old. That's why I'm doing this story time right now. It might be cut into 2 pieces because I don't know. I'm recording my phone right now. I don't know if my phone storage is gonna let me do a whole long video or the full video for y'all right now. So I'm gonna try to talk as long as I can before this camera cut off and they say my storage is full. Let's go ahead and get into story time. Boom, bada boom, bada bam. 2016. I was 14. I'm not gonna say the child's father's real name. I'm just putting him as baby daddy because that's all he is. He's really just a sperm donor. But I ain't gonna say all that. 2016. I'm on Facebook scrolling. I see a cute little, you feel me? Yeah. I liked it, whatever. And I ended up swiping up because it was his birthday. I ended up swiping up. I ended up seeing happy birthday to him. And he ended up not even saying thank you under the post. He messaged me. Told me, he was like, thank you. By the way, you beautiful. Blase. Yeah, asked for my number. We caked up on the phone. It's his birthday. Remind y'all, it's his birthday. So we caked up on the phone. Dang near his whole entire birthday. We on the phone. And let me put this disclaimer in here. Me and this man is years apart. I'm not even gonna disclose that because I just know the comment section is gonna go. My comment section is gonna go out if this video get as much traffic as I think it is. For my people, my family members, not all my family members, my close family members, my mom and them, everybody knows his age. Everybody know the dealio. Back to the story time. Like I said, I'm not disclosing no ages. It's a big ass age gap, and he did not know my age. I said I was 16. Mind y'all, 16 compared to how old this man is. He still shouldn't have been talking to my young ass. Even though I lied about being 2 years older than what I was. Yes, the girls was doing that back in 2016. We was lying about our ages. Not all of us, but I was. That's why I was constantly getting that. But, okay, boom, back to the story time. We was messaging, we was caked up literally his whole entire birthday. Mind y'all, I did not know me and this man lived in the same housing complex. I was staying with my auntie and uncle at the time. Me and this man stayed literally around the corner from each other. He told me he wanted to see me. I told him, cool. Literally, it's the next day, y'all. We still talking. But the next day, Lord Jesus, I was so fast. The next day, he ended up coming over, and this man told me, oh, you know, I stay right around the corner at my mama's house. I'm like, huh? Around the corner? Yeah. So the man ended up coming over. My fast ass fell in love with this man. I'm gonna keep putting parentheses, man. I fell in love with this man. And it was just up from there. We started linking dang near every day, constantly talking every single day. yeah, and it went from there. I'm gonna fast forward to me noticing that I was pregnant. I didn't really pay too much attention about my, I take too much attention to my periods, but it was his auntie or his cousin birthday. Can't remember. I'm sitting in a car and I'm like, dang, I look real big today. But I didn't pay no attention to it. I was really irritated that day. Didn't know why I was so irritated. I was emotional. So I went in the car. I sat in the car and he ended up coming out like, what's wrong? I'm like, I don't know what's wrong. So he gets to rubbing my stomach. He's like, are you pregnant? Me in utter confusion, like, why would you say such a thing? Why would you think such a thing? Me in the back of my mind, like, bitch, you are only, oh, watch out. Girl, you are only 14. How are you going to be pregnant by this grown-ass man? How? Mind y'all, I am sneaking outside of school. I'm sneaking from school to go be with this man dang there every day. I'm not going to school. My mom and them not even knowing. Not too much on my mom and them. I know. When I tell y'all, if I tell y'all, I had the whole game, the whole thing planned out. I was making fake numbers for my mama to text. I would having, sometimes I would have him play as one of my, a friend daddy. I would have his sister play as their mama. Y'all, I was a horrible child. And mama, if you watching this, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was a horrible child. And my mama watched my channel, so I know she gonna see this video and she gonna be like, she fucking knew it. Oh Lord, I just know my karma is gonna eat me up, but Lord God, please don't make my daughter pass. Back to the story time. So he like, are you pregnant? And I'm like, can't be. And I started crying. I was crying so hard that day. I couldn't do nothing but cry. So fast forward, we went to his grandma's house, I believe that next day. And he was like, Simone, you need to take a pregnancy test because I think you're pregnant. Mind y'all, that night that we left his auntie's house, we did some things at his grandma's. And I just remember his mama coming in and his mama like, Simone, I'm gonna ask you one time only. Is you pregnant? And mind y'all, his mama didn't believe my age. He told his mama I was 18. His mama kept looking me in my face and kept telling me like, I know you're not 18. You look way too young to be 18. But she was like, listen, the situation is so effed up. I promise I would have to literally have probably my little brother or somebody sit with me and do the part 2 of this story time so that y'all can know I am not lying. I'm not playing no type of games about this story time. Everything that I'm saying right now is so true. And it is so crazy because out of all people, my little brother and my big cousin knew his age when we first started talking. They was not okay with it at all. They wanted me to stop talking to this man. But me, being a dumb young girl that I was getting, what do they call it now? Groomed. I was getting groomed and I didn't know it. Okay. Okay. I'm not crying. So, like I said, that next day his mom ended up texting me. Coming in the house, I'm like, are you pregnant? I'm like, no. And I started laughing. She was like, you look like it. Yeah, you is. And I believe at that time, my mom and my daddy found out that I was messing with him. And my little brother snitched on me. Yes, Papa snitched on me. But he ain't had no choice. My little brother snitched on me. My mama and them came and got me from this man's house. And my mama and my daddy was so heated. My eyes was glossy, but I thought my eyes was glossy because I was smoking. My eyes was glossy because me and this man was in here having a whole crying contest because I told him my little brother didn't call me and told me if I don't get my ass home, my mom and him is coming around this corner to come and grab me. We got a couple minutes before my mom and them get over here and before they show up. My mom and them thought I was smoking. I wasn't high. I was crying. I didn't want to leave. I didn't want to leave. But they ended up finding out. They didn't know how old he was. They didn't know how he looked. They just knew it was a boy that I was going to the house I was sneaking to. So when we got back to the house, and at the time we was staying with my mama. And when we got back to her house, my mama like, when we get to this house, we gotta talk. Matter of fact, my mama didn't say it, my daddy said it. We got back to the house, he asked me like, Simone, are you pregnant? And I just looked at him. I started crying. He was like, are you pregnant? I told him, yeah. And at the time I didn't take no test or nothing, so I didn't know 100% sure that I was, but I had a feeling in my body that I was. So the next day, when I tell y'all my mama plays no games, the next day, my mama had me at that motherfucking doctor office, lean on that motherfucking cold doctor thing. And when that man came back and told my mama that I was pregnant, ooh, rewind. My daddy asked me, was I gonna have an abortion? In my mind, I'm like, no, I'm gonna take care of my baby. I don't care how old or how young I am. I can do this, blase, just talking out my ass. I was not responsible. I was not ready. I was not old enough. I was not mentally prepared to take care of no kid, especially by myself. I didn't become a single parent till maybe 2 years ago. 2 years ago. That's when I became an official single parent. But my mama found out when we was at the doctor office. I had already told her that I was. So at the doctor office, my mama gave me that mama look. And I knew once I got home, I was gonna kill. I didn't know what I had. I don't know what she had up her sleeve. But that day we was supposed to get an ultrasound done. And my mama ended up saying, like, no, it's taking too long, we gotta go home. So I ended up texting him and I'm like, yeah, I am. And you feel me, I got the official notes like, yeah, I am. And he was geeked. In the meantime, in between time, I was staying with my mama at her mama house. And I believe I kept running away. I kept leaving. I kept going to his house. And my mama got fed up. And my mama was like, you can't keep coming back and forth. You need to figure out what you're gonna do. So my mama, cause that's not my daddy. I ain't claiming that man as my daddy. That's not my father. My mama's sperm donor ended up finding out once, because we went on a family vacation. I went on a family vacation with his mama and his family or whatever. We went to the cabins and his mama ended up, I was sick the whole trip. I was throwing up. I had a fever, all that. My nose and stuff looked widened like I was. So she ended up telling him, like, I think someone is pregnant. And he ended up coming and he asked me, was I? I told him, I don't believe I told him yeah. I believe I told his mama yeah. And she ended up telling him. So boom, bada bam. I ended up having to stay with my mama's sperm donor My mama sperm donor mama, and she made my life a living hell. She wanted to run my whole life. She didn't want me around him. Nothing. I couldn't go over there. She strictly made me go back to school every day. I was still skipping school. I didn't care. I would act like I was getting on that bus, and I wouldn't get on that bus. I would go the opposite way just so I could go to his house. That's how dumb and stupid of love I was over this man. I was skipping school just to go to his house and lay up with him all day because I was pregnant. And I'm way too young to be pregnant in school, and people started being in my business. So I was basically the talk of the school, like, oh, you know, such and such is pregnant. I wasn't telling anybody that I was, but everybody was in my business. Just on some school stuff. So bada boom, bada bam. She ended up finding out that I was skipping school to go to his house. She dropped me off at his house one day. She didn't know it was his house. So she ended up dropping me off at his house one day. And she ended up pulling back up because she like, I don't feel like you're at your friend's house. I feel like you're at that boy's house. So she ended up coming back. And I was already walking around the corner to the house. So she ended up picking me up as I was coming around the corner. What was this? Yeah, we got lights or whatever right here by the garage and stuff. So anytime some walk past it, the lights come on. So it be throwing me off sometimes. So she ended up catching me coming around the corner or whatever the case may be. And I was already going back to the house. She was like, because we had to go to church that day. And that's what, oh, I just broke my thing. I know. She was a church woman. She ended up telling everybody in her church that I was pregnant. Most of her family members was there. So all the family in my business, blase. The usual church stuff. Family, people rubbing all on my stomach, asking me, oh, how old are you again? Just trying to be on some nosy, messy stuff. So I didn't want to go to church anymore. I stopped telling her. I told her I didn't want to go to church anymore because I felt uncomfortable. I don't like having to keep telling people my age or people knowing my age already and running my business around this church. So I told her I didn't want to go anymore, and she ended up being cool with it. But anytime she would go to church, I would just go at his house. So one day, they was barbecuing my mama's sperm donor mama. Matter of fact, I'm gonna say names. Josiah, aka my so-called father, his mama ended up barbecuing that day, and she ended up telling me to invite him over because she never met him before then. So he ended up, I didn't want to invite him because she didn't know his age, and he didn't know my real age by then. So when he came to the barbecue, she ended up asking this man how old he was. I told him to lie. He looked too old to be at 18, 19. And that was still too old for my young ass. So he ended up lying because I told him to lie, and she didn't believe it. She said, tell me how old you really are, because do you know how old she really is? On some messy stuff. I said, is that how we coming? She ended up telling us, man, do you know how old she really is? And he was like, yeah, 16, right? Honey, she spilled the tea. She said, no, this little girl is only 14 years old and you were such and such. You are a child molester. You know, you could go to jail for that. Blase, blase. She's too young to be messing with you. And I feel bad that she even sat here and lied to you because she could have got you in so much trouble because you didn't know how old she really was. Baby, when I tell you I want to get up and choke this lady, I'm seeing her big, pregnant, and irritated, and you running this, you telling my business. So when he found that out, he looked me dead in my face, and this man cried. He cried. He left. He didn't even stay for the barbecue. He left and he cried. He called me. I was calling him, basically trying to, you feel me, check on him. He messaged me and was like, don't ever speak to me again. Because you know you could have got me locked up. You could get me on the child molestation list. Even if you was 16, you're not even 16. You're only 14 years old. Like, why would you do that? I didn't do nothing but cry. I told that lady, don't ever speak to me again. I didn't eat that night. I'm in that room. I slept in that door and I locked myself in that room. I don't want to talk to her. She ended up trying to take my phone. Ma'am, you didn't buy this phone, so you're not gonna take this phone. I believe it was that next day he ended up texting me, and he was like, I'm so sorry for how I reacted. At the end of the day, you still carrying my child, and I still want to be with you. Excuse me? I want to be me? Me? After I'm at my real age? Me? Y'all, I was shocked as fuck. I need to stop cussing so much. Ooh, I was shocked. I said, what? You what? Y'all, when I tell y'all I cried, and it's like so many gaps I'm not filling up right now because I can't really get into full details because it's like so much that I would have to explain. Like, this video would be a whole hour long if I was to sit on here and say the whole thing. I mean, explain every single detail. So I was confused. He ended up telling me like, I'm gonna come pick you up, but I'm like, no, you can't come back here. I'm gonna meet you around the corner. Like I said, his auntie stayed around the corner from her. So I'm like, I'm gonna meet you around the corner, but he was already like coming down the street. He like, oh, I'm already coming that way. Or can I come get you? I said, no, you already know how that's gonna go, no. So I ended up putting my clothes on and I ended up leaving out her house. I didn't tell her where I was going under that. He ended up coming to get me. We went around the corner to the auntie house. We laid up. He didn't do nothing but vent and cry. We didn't do nothing but vent and cry. When I tell you I cried so much during this whole pregnancy, I was a crybaby, and I feel like that's why my child came out looking like this, me, because I didn't do nothing but cry. Yeah. When I tell y'all, this lady was blowing down my phone that whole entire day because I wasn't answering her. I don't want to talk to you. Why would I want to talk to you after you just tried to sit here and in my eyes, I feel like you was trying to ruin me. So she didn't like the fact that I was ignoring her. So she said, if you don't pick up this phone, I'm going to call the police on y'all. And he'll get locked up for you being over there. You're underage and you're not supposed to be over there. I said, okay, we doing police games. Okay, cool. So when she told me that, y'all, I told him, she said she gonna call the police on me. So I'm finna go before they come. Y'all, not even 5 minutes later, the police was knocking on the door as I'm getting ready to leave out. Thank God none of his people was there, because I promise y'all, matter of fact, he answered the door and I went in the room and I was sitting right there. They came and said, oh, her grandmother called and she said she's over here. He told her, no, she ain't here. So they didn't end up checking for me. He just told him I wasn't there, and I left. After they left, I ended up walking around the corner to her house. And I was so utterly disgusted with her. I didn't want to go back to the house. Like I said, I'm like, nah, I don't want to go back. Matter of fact, I don't even think I ended up going back that same day. I think I stayed at his house because I believe she told me if I didn't go now, she was don't ever come back to her house. And I didn't care. I knew I had somewhere to stay. Me and my child was gonna be good. We're good. My bills were paid. I ain't had no bills. But yeah, when I tell y'all, I'm gonna say this now, and I think I'm gonna cut this video because I just know this video is gonna be hecka long, and my mind is just racing and rolling right now. I'm gonna cut this in half, and I'm gonna do a part 2. Before I end this video though, I'm gonna say one thing and one thing only. Younger girls that's watching this video, please don't be like me. Please do not. Please get out your mind that older men are better and they'll treat you better. They won't. They had a fun with you for right now. But at the end of the day, they don't really want you. And what I've learned throughout the years is if a man can't be with a woman his age or around his age, it's something wrong with that man. And from my experience, because ever since then, I've talked to nothing but older men. From my experience and from what I had to go through, I'm gonna let y'all know right now, older men is not it. Older men don't give a flying bleep about you. They honestly don't. They really don't. They'll fill your head up with lies so they can get it what's in between them thighs. And that's it. I have outgrown I've outgrown if he's older he'll treat me better mentality because he won't it all. I've had my fair share and they treat me just the same as a younger person was or a person around my age would. Just because they older do not mean they better. I promise you they not. I promise if I could go back in time, I wouldn't change that I had my daughter, but I would change at what age I had her at and who I had her with. My life has been nothing but a utterly hell since I've had my child. I've had good days, I've had bad days, but more bad days than good days. I get up every day and I have to care for my child by myself because I thought that an older man would give me the lifestyle that I wanted, and that man said F his child and me for a female. So I'm gonna let y'all know right now, it's gonna take that one person to come in that man's life and he'll end it all. He'd throw you to the wolves, and me and him wasn't even together at the time. And I'm not even gonna go into detail on all that. I might do a story time on that, on why I became a single parent and the actions that transpired from him, for him to stop talking to his child. And when I tell y'all, when I drop that story time, it's gonna get real messy. It's gonna come out with a whole lot of animosity. It's gonna be a whole lot of mess, but I don't care. I'm grown. I'm grown as hell. And baby, when you watch this video, because I know you still watch me, this is the truth. Ask your man. Ask your man. Yes, he was messing with a 14-year-old, and he knew that he was. But I'm not into that. I'm not into all the messy stuff. I'm done. Like I said, young girls, please, if you 14, 15, 16, 17, even 18, focus on yourself, baby. Get that bag, F these, and focus on yourself, because there's so much more to life than having a child and being with a man. Live your life. Live your life. Men will come, relationships will come, love will come, but let it come genuinely and not by force. That's it. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Like I said, part two will be out soon. It'll probably be right after this video. Like I said, I'm really tired right now. It's late at night, and I just had to make sure I got this video out for you guys. It's 12:36, so I'm tired. But like I said, like, comment, and subscribe. Drop comments down below. Younger girls, if y'all need somebody to talk to, I'm here. If y'all going through a similar situation, or y'all thinking about having a kid at a young age, please consult with me. It's not it, baby. I'm telling you right now, it's not it. It's not the move. That man will not change for you. He will not change at all. You will be in a messed up, stuck position trying to mess with an older man or an older boy. Like, don't do it. Don't do it.
Get ready to go down, then go more down, then we can keep it lit. Let's